Hollywood. That's gooey ballyhooly Hollywood, where any office boy or young mechanic can be a panic with just a good-looking plan.
Hello, Hollywood. Welcome to the first Walk of Fame star ceremony of this new decade. I'd also like to give a shout out to our fans watching our live video stream presented by our media partner, Variety. I'm Rana Gadban, President and CEO of the Hollywood Chamber of Commerce, which is presenting this program. For today's Walk of Fame ceremony, we are honoring every man and boy's childhood hero. Today, Hollywood honors Burt Ward, aka Robin, with a 2,683rd star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Congratulations. But before we invite him up to the stage, first let me tell you about our honoree. Burt had all the makings of a true boy wonder. At the age of 2, he was the youngest professional ice skater in the world and was featured in Strange as It Seems, a predecessor to the Ripley's Believe It or Not and to the Guinness Book of World Records. Congratulations. With the help of his father, Burt became one of the youngest real estate agents in California. There, he met producer Saul David, who arranged for him to sign with a Hollywood agent. And here we got lucky. His first interview was set up at 20th Century Fox Studios, and a few weeks later, Burt was called back for a screen test with Adam West. 6 weeks after the screen test, Burt learned that he had won the role of Robin, the boy wonder, in the new Batman TV series for ABC TV. Let's give him a big round of applause. Executive producer William Dozier told Burt that he was chosen out of more than 1,100 other young actors. The producers believed that if there were really a real Robin, the boy wonder, then Burt would be it. So they asked him to just be himself and be enthusiastic. As a result, all of the classic Robin mannerism, like punching his fist into his palm, jumping over the door in and out of the Batmobile, were not scripted. They were created by Burt himself. Batman was an overnight sensation. The ratings soared, and audiences fell in love with the dynamic duo of West and Ward. West and Ward went on to have over 50 years of friendship working together. They have even been submitted to the Guinness Book of World Records in 2017 as the only two actors who have worked together for more than 50 years. In fact, Burt Ward and Adam West continued to do movies, TV shows, and appearances together until the unfortunate death of Adam. Burt has also been submitted to the Guinness Book of World Records as the actor who has played Robin, the boy wonder, most on screen in all forms of media. Not only was this location for the star chosen due to today's honors, but because Burt's star is now next to his friend Adam West and one of the creators of Batman, Bob Kane. In 2016, Burt Ward's and Adam West's new animated feature film, Batman: Return of the Caped Crusaders, was released in theaters and universally acknowledged as the best animated superhero movie of the year for 2016. Outside of his time as a Caped Crusader, Burt and his wife Tracy have made names for themselves as K9 Crusaders. They founded Gentle Giants Rescue and Adoptions, Through their charity, more than 15,500 dogs have been rescued and adopted. That's amazing. And Gentle Giant is the largest giant breed dog rescue in the world. Thank you. And in addition to Gentle Giants, Burt and Tracy also formed Burt Ward's and Tracy Ward's Superheroes to the Rescue nonprofit, which empowers everyone to help animals and anyone in need. So ladies and gentlemen, on that note, please help me welcome to the stage Robin himself, Burt Ward. But before we hear from our honoree today, we have 3 guest speakers who'd like to say a few kind words. Our first speaker is an Emmy Award-winning journalist, TV personality, motivational speaker, and New York Times best-selling author. As one of the few female CEOs in the world of tech, she heads the AfterBuzz TV digital broadcast streaming network, which produces over 150 hours of weekly programming for over 120 countries. So please help me welcome to the stage Maria Menounos.
All right. Hi, everybody. Hello. It's going to sound cliche when I say what an honor it is to be here. But anyone who really takes the time to know Burt Ward and what he has contributed to not only pop culture, but also to our very industry knows it's anything but cliche to say so. In 2020, it's no big deal to see men and women in superhero costumes on television and in movie theaters. In fact, if you do the math, for well over a decade, Hollywood has pretty much subsisted purely on content surrounding superheroes. I promise that wasn't always the case. If you know anything about Hollywood history, you'd know that in the nearly 100 years before, only 3 superhero productions come to mind: Superman, the Hulk, and Batman. If there were a Mount Rushmore of Hollywood superheroes, a like monument of pioneers, you would surely see the faces of George Reeves, Adam West, Lou Ferrigno, and Burt Ward. Sadly, we have only 2 of those superheroes left with us, but luckily we have one here today. In Burt's case, this is not merely the case of some actor being in the right place at the right time. Burt Ward is not only one of the fathers of Hollywood superhero-dom, he is also one of the most outstanding and most memorable. Again, this may sound like another award speech cliche, but again, anyone who truly knows Burt Ward knows otherwise. Decades after he hung up his yellow cape and black mask, the use of the word holy attached to what seems a limitless amount of nouns is practically part of our vernacular. Holy Hollywood history, Batman. 50 years after the original Batman series ceased production, BuzzFeed maintains rankings of all 359 holy Batman phrases Burt ever uttered. Holy Batman is part of the Urban Dictionary, and there are literally hundreds of GIFs online with the phrase. And each time you read a holy Batman phrase, each time someone says it, each time you hear it in your mind, you envision the unique, compelling, and memorable voice and delivery of Burt Ward. The incredible energy, enthusiasm, and doubtless earnestness he as an actor brought to the role is what made the character of Robin and Holy Batman the very part of Americana it is. All that is more than enough evidence to prove why me being here is such an incredible honor today. However, with Burt Ward, the accolades and pioneering doesn't end at playing Robin. Burt is a superhero in real life too. Besides being a successful entrepreneur outside of Hollywood, Burt and his wife have dedicated their lives to animals. Burt's not only rescued hundreds of pets over the years, he's also created breakthroughs in canine health care, particularly health care for larger breeds who typically live the shortest lives. And as you heard earlier, he and his wife have rescued some 15,500 dogs in the past 25 years. That's definitely a superhero in my book. And Burt, all of my dogs now use the raised bowls, keeping the food off the ground because of you, because you taught me that it's less stressful for them to eat and drink. And it turns out that's just one of the things that helps to increase a dog's lifespan, and I learned that from you too, Burt. So thank you for that, because I love my babies so much and I want them to be with me forever. It's easily proven why today is such an honor for me and all of Burt's fans, all of you here. But Burt, I want you to know that this is not only an honor for me, it will also serve as one of my career milestones. So thank you for that too. And thank you on behalf of all of your fans for all the joy that you have given us. Thank you, citizens, and thank you, Burt.
So before we introduce our next speakers, we have a few celebrities here in the audience who are here today supporting Burt. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a round of applause for actress Kathy Garver, actress Terry Moore, actress Lee Merriweather, and last but not least, actor Robert Carradine. I'd also like to give a shout out to the Hollywood Chamber Board of Directors, and especially to our chairperson of the board, president and founder of the Hollywood Museum and vice chair of the California Film Commission, Donnell Dadigan. Our next speaker today is an Emmy Award-winning journalist who has proven to be a force in all areas of her career as a host, author, producer, and entrepreneur. She has co-hosted Entertainment Tonight for the past 9 years and Access Hollywood for 13 years prior. She's one of the country's most respected and leading entertainment journalists. She's also a successful TV producer with her latest series, Sex, Scandals, Crime with Nancy O'Deal on the Reels channel. Please help me welcome to the stage, Nancy O'Deal.
You got so many people who love you, Mr. Burt. Oh my goodness. Hollywood Walk of Fame, Batman, or today, it's all about Robin, isn't it? Oh yeah. Actually, Burt Ward, the young actor who brought the comic book hero Robin to life, the star who brought so many characters to life on screen, and the gentleman who is living an exemplary life with creativity and philanthropy. You know, an entire generation got to know Burt as Batman's sidekick, right? And we all love him. His reaction to the challenges he faced, as we all know, and Maria just described, was to respond with his signature, holy whatever. Of course, he actually never said holy whatever, but he did have exactly 359 holies. And yes, that made Burt holier than thou. Yeah, I know. It actually made Burt holier than all of y'all thous. Just for the record. Now, Burt's holies ranged, you heard a few of them already, from the fun like holy hole in a donut, holy bunions. You got any bunions, Burt? No. Nope. Good thing. To the bizarre like holy knit 1, pearl 2, and holy astringent plum like fruit, which I'd like you to explain that one to me a little bit later, if you will. Okay. And anybody, I must say, who can pull off saying things like that with such seriousness and authority and greatness deserves to have a star on the Walk of Fame. for just that alone. And probably also a Nobel Prize. All right, well, Burt and I, we share a mutual pal, Roger Neal. So, Burt, I got a little inside scoop.
Okay.
And I got to share it today.
Uh-oh.
Is that all right?
Yep.
So one of the many charming things about Burt is that he's very humble. If you get to know him, he's extremely humble. He truly doesn't realize the impact that he made on so many generations. So when Roger told him that he was going to be honored with the Hollywood star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, well, he was actually really kind of in shock and responded by adding a whole new holy to his list of holies, number 360. Holy sh! Oh, really? That's what I heard, Burt. He's like me, I'm Southern. We can't quite say that, right?
We're antiseptic.
That's right, we're antiseptic. Well, here's something else about Robin. If you think about it, he really looked good fighting Catwoman, the Riddler, and the Joker in his slimming industrial strength tights and body-shaping stretch tops. So I'm actually totally convinced that it was Burt who inspired Spanx. You know? So thank you, Burt. You're actually the reason I can't breathe right now, too. In all seriousness, though, I gotta say, it's ironic how much Burt is like the character that he made famous in all the good ways. He never worries about getting the credit. He's so modest that people don't even know how much he does for other people. Think about Robin, the character Robin in his colorful outfit distracting the bad guys, always looking out for Batman. He felt it was his duty to protect his partner, ever the loyal brother in arms, there to do good. And just as Robin did then, well, Burt now continues to do so much good for others. Having 3 dogs myself, I was so grateful, I have to say. And in awe to hear how he and his wife, Tracy, have saved the lives over 15,000 dogs through their charity, Gentle Giants Rescues and Adoption. And I, too, just like Maria, have learned so much in the few minutes. He gets so excited to tell you all about how much you can make the lives better for these sweet little things that we call our family. And Burt actually has changed the world for people, too. Before I came to Hollywood, I covered the police and crime beat in Charleston, South Carolina, and Miami for many, many years. And I'd actually often ask, and Burt, I don't think you actually realize this and how much you influence some people because they loved watching you, but actually would often ask the officers what inspired them to go into law enforcement. And a surprising number of them, quite a few, actually told me they grew up watching Batman and Robin,
Wow.
and that is what made them want to fight the bad guys. So you see, Burt, you not only influence law enforcement and Spanx. So we thank you for all the good that you have done. And to top it all off, well, Burt is known as one of the nicest guys in Hollywood. And you know what? He's been nice forever, even before Tom Hanks made it acceptable to be nice in Hollywood. Unfortunately, that probably means that you can never host the Golden Globes. Holy opening monologue, Ricky Gervais. But we appreciate your goodness,
Thank you.
Burt, very much. And next year, I will have been covering Hollywood for 25 years, so I've been at a lot of star ceremonies, and I am so especially proud when what I know and what I hear about you, of all the good things I hear about you, to be here to dedicate your well-deserved star to one of the good guys in show business. So thank you, Raina, thank you, Danielle, thank you, Chamber of Commerce, for recognizing this very nice man in show business. So Holy Hollywood Walk of Fame, Burt Ward, a much deserved congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm going to say my apologies to Nancy Odell. My French still kicked in, even though I thought about it prior to getting on stage. So, merci, Nancy, for being with us today. And now our next speaker, last but not least, he has been saying silly cinematic stuff since his first film, Clerks, released way back in 1994. He had a heart attack, unfortunately, but he made it, and he survived solely so he could direct his magnum opus, Jay and Silent Bob Reboot. A polygamist, he's married to both his wife Jen and podcasting. So please help me welcome to the stage Kevin Smith.
Hey, from the time I was 4.5 years old, every day at 3 o'clock, no matter what I was doing in the world, like Rain Man, the world had to stop, and I had to be in front of a television so that I could watch 2.5 hours of Batman. That built the person that I absolutely became. Now, I came to see Batman, but my way into the story wasn't the billionaire playboy, you know, who was intent on doing good. It was the kid who was next to him. That's who I could see myself as. This kid amongst a world of adults and freaks, always trying to do the right thing. I was raised Catholic, ladies and gentlemen, but my morality came from Batman and Robin. Because every episode, both of them, but particularly Robin, who was our way in, taught us that, like, no matter what happens, it's always better to be good. If you're good, good things happen to you. He taught me the most important lesson I ever learned in life. Make sure your parents die and hook up with a billionaire, man. Like, that's the way to a happy childhood. Like, Burt was also one of the very first names that I ever learned in this business. Hence, the first famous person that I ever got my head around. You got to remember, I was a child when I started watching Batman and Robin, and so they'd show the credits, and this was deathly serious to me. This wasn't camp television. Every episode, I was worried about the outcome. I knew it wasn't real, but at the same time, I thought it had absolute gravitas. And in the beginning, they had a little animated sequence that introduced the show, and they would show Robin, but it would say Burt Ward, and I would have to ask my parents, like, is that how you spell Robin? There's so many letters. And they were like, no, that's who plays Robin, is Burt Ward, is an actor. The concept of a world behind the world, something I was seeing, but that there were people that made this sort of thing, was introduced simply by reading Burt Ward's name on a screen episode after episode and slowly cognizing a business beyond just like, I like this, but wait, people have to make this sort of thing. I stand today on Hollywood Boulevard working in this business 25 years because of moments exactly like that. And I stand here today never having tried to take over a city or drop a bomb on it because of the lessons that I was learned at the hem of the cape of Robin himself, Burt Ward. And then years later, I was lucky enough to get into this business, and because of that, met people who knew people, and one day I actually got to sit down and talk to Burt Ward. We did a podcast. And in this business, in the world, they tell you, never meet your heroes. They'll never live up to it. I sat down with Burt, and he told me, not only did I see he was a wonderfully sweet fucking guy. Sorry. Wonderfully sweet guy. Sorry, Robin. My modifiers are different. I don't say holy, I say that. But I also found out, as he told me this long conversation, which stemmed off of like, I said something about my dog. He started talking about his dog. And once he told me, he's like, oh, I have a dog that's 25 years old. I was just like, how is that possible, man? And then I was like, of course it's possible. Robin did it. So I love this man since I was a kid. He was my way into the world of superheroes. He taught me to be good. He was my way into the world of Hollywood. He taught me that there were people that actually do this sort of thing, and you could be that person. He taught me that every teenage boy looks like he's 30 years old, man. Like, so it gave me something to aspire to. And when I got the call about coming out here today, I was back east last night in Florida with my mother, and I was interviewing Bobby Orr. So my schedule, I was supposed to be back there, but they're like, on this day, if you're going to be here, you could come out and speak on behalf of Burt. I literally changed my schedule. I'm not saying this for credit, but just to tell you how important it was, I changed my schedule because life comes down to certain moments, and Robin was always there for everyone I ever watched in that show, and the day that Robin needed me, I am here for Robin. Give it up for Burt Ward!
And now, before we hear from our honoree, I'd like to welcome to the stage a friend of the Walk of Fame, our Los Angeles City Council member, Mitch O'Farrell.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Rana. It is such a pleasure to be here to be part of this incredible ceremony honoring this amazing human being, Burt Ward. Yes. I want to thank the Hollywood Chamber of Commerce for providing this space for fans across the world to come and enjoy their favorite stars. So thank you, Hollywood Chamber of Commerce, for making all of this possible, for all of these wonderful fans gathered here today and beyond. Burt Ward, you have been part of our lives since gracing the small screen as one of the most iconic characters of the generation of the 1960s, inspiring little boys like me who donned a red cape when I was about 5 years old when this show was on TV, and I only saw it in black and white because that's all we had. But you did inspire everyone from a very young age to do good things in the world. So I have to believe that part of what inspires me to this day is what I learned as a young child from watching Batman and Robin.
Oh, thank you.
And beyond that, let me just say that your transition from Caped Crusader to Canine Crusader is what made you my superhero. You and Tracy, with your nonprofit Gentle Giants. Here are some quotes about animals that I love to be reminded of, and I think this speaks to what you and Tracy do. Love the animals. God has given them the rudiments of thought and joy untroubled. That's Dostoevsky. Here's another one. Until one has loved an animal, a part of one's soul remains unawakened. And you and Tracy with Gentle Giants and all that you do, and is there anything greater that one can do with one's fame that benefit the completely defenseless like you and Tracy have done all of these years? So in that respect, because of your accomplishments as an actor, but equally your accomplishments as a philanthropist and an animal welfare activist and advocate, you inspire all of us. And so on behalf of the Los Angeles City Council, I congratulate you, and it is an honor to stand aside you on this incredible historic day for you. Burt Ward, congratulations.
Thank you. Oh, thank you.
You are welcome, and I have a little something for you. There we go. And we're probably going to want to take pictures up here. We'll stand right behind your co-Cape Crusaders here. And so we'll face off this way. Here's a pro.
Thank you so much, Mitch. And now, on behalf of the Hollywood Chamber of Commerce, we now declare today Burt Ward Day in Hollywood. And it's now the time you've all been waiting for. It's time to hear from our superhero today. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you Burt Ward.
Thank you. Holy turnout! Well, first of all, I'd like to thank everybody involved, the Hollywood Chamber, and all the people that I've met there. Very nice. I want to thank my publicist, Roger Neal. He gave me a discount on the next month's bill if I mentioned his name. And I want to thank all of you. You know, I watched some of the stars that come up here and speak, and I thought I wanted to do a little something different. I wanted to not only thank you, but I wanted to tell you something that that has motivated me and which I believe has made me successful in life. When I was a little boy, I remember I grew up in this town. I remember walking in front of the Grauman's Chinese Theater and putting my hands there where the hands of some of the great actors and actresses of time, and their shoes and stuff were there. And I grew up in a family where I was actually kind of shy. I didn't do a lot of socialization, but I did a lot of daydreaming. Excuse me. When I was 3 years old, I wanted to be Superboy. Now, where I lived, there wasn't Batman comic books, or at least I didn't know about it, but there were Superman and Superboy. So what I want to tell you is that thoughts can be things. And if you think hard enough and you really put effort behind it, you can make your world whatever you want it to be. So I remember seeing photos of myself on a tricycle with a bath towel around my neck held together with a clothespin. And I just thought about that all the time. And as I grew up, I stopped riding the tricycle, but I would come home from high school and I would spend hours just by myself kicking a ball against the wall, but daydreaming about all the fantastic things that superheroes can do. And you know, when I got the opportunity to play Robin, people said, well, gee, you know, you haven't done anything else. I mean, this has got to be so different for you to come out and do this, when in reality, I spent hours and days and weeks and months fighting villains in my mind. I love the fight scenes on Batman. I also was very fortunate that my parents got me started in karate in 1959 before it became popular. I was also fortunate that one of my neighbors was Bruce Lee. And Bruce and I actually sparred together. We were friends. We would go down into Chinatown. And I remember when Brandon was 6 months old, and we'd order all the authentic Chinese food because he had lived in Hong Kong for 10 years. But piece of trivia, I don't know if you know this, Bruce Lee's first filmed fight scene of his amazing cinematic career was fighting me on Batman. And a really nice man, and I miss him terribly. I also miss my partner, Adam, terribly. I want to tell you that, you know, I'm not part of the, quote, Hollywood scene and that I go to all the parties and stuff like that, but I know one thing. I met Adam 15 minutes before our screen test in 1965 in September. Within 5 minutes, the two of us were laughing, and we never stopped laughing for more than 50 years. I have the greatest respect and love for Adam, and you know, I think something was really fortunate when we made our series. There were so many problems with getting these effects to work. We had a double-sized crew. They couldn't get all the stuff to work. And while they were spending all their time doing that, Adam and I were recording and filming our scenes without restraint. In other words, they would say, okay, well, you're going to be in the Batmobile, or you'll be in the Bat cave or whatever. But they didn't tell us, oh, do this here, do that there, say this, do that. No, they left us alone. And Adam and I believe, had an amazing chemistry. You know, great comic teams have always had diversity, opposites, Abbott and Costello, you know, Laurel and Hardy. So many have had tremendous opposites. And Adam, people ask me, well, he's so stoic, he's so rigid. Is that really the way he is? Yes, that's the way he is. And me, I never grew up. I still haven't grown up. So the two of us had the best time. We would sometimes, even after 14-hour days on weekends, go out and play tennis together. I loved Adam. I miss him terribly. He was a great, wonderful human being with amazing comedic sense. And I think that the interplay that we had, the chemistry we had, plus being allowed to do things like jump over the door, getting in and out of the Batmobile, or in my case also, walking, instead of getting out of the Batmobile, climbing up on the door and walking back on the fins of the Batmobile. I don't know if you remember that from some of the shows. Well, let me tell you something. What I didn't know was that George Barris, the creator of the Batmobile, and his assistants were having near heart attacks because I was messing up their paint job. I didn't know that. I only did what I thought was right for the scene. But my main message today is to tell you that I think all of us can be everything we want to be. I learned a great lesson from my beautiful wife, Tracy, married for 30 years. Stand up, honey. Let people see it. Now, this is Robin's girl. You know what I learned from my wife? I learned that you can be better than you think you are at many different things. So many of us are told if we're artists, we can only be an artist. Or if we're business people, we can only be in business. But guess what? You can be everything. And for this little boy that grew up in this town, that daydreamed every single day when other kids were out playing with friends and I was by myself, and all I ever wanted to be was a superhero. I got it, okay? And I don't think it was an accident. So I want to wish all of you a wonderful 2020, and I hope all of your dreams come true. But I can tell you, think about it, dream about it, plan on it. Don't limit yourself. Be all that you can be. To the Batmobile, citizens!
It's now time for us to unveil the star. So please join us by celebrating and cheering. And let's hear it one more time for now Walk of Famer, Burt Ward.
Kevin, we can't see you.
All right. You do the heavy lift. You do the heavy lift.
Be proudly welcome to the Hollywood Walk of Fame, Burt Ward.
Thank you. Thank you. What a fantastic thing. What a great gift. Holy accomplishment. That's not one of the 359 ones.
Straight ahead right here. Good. You're right. You're right. And everyone up top here, please. And in the corner over here.
All right.
Now I'm going to have Burt stay in your chair.
Okay. Yep. Yep. All right.
Maria, we don't
Great. Thank you.
All right, everybody straight ahead. Straight ahead.
Okay, we got to move over, guys. Oh, look to our left, sorry.
Back in the center. Look at the center.
Burt, straight right up top? Right down here, Burt. Right down here. Good.
To your right.
To your right. Straight ahead. All right, everybody straight ahead, Burt. Bob, look at Bob right here. Right here. Good. One more in the corner. And up top here? Burt, up top? To the right. Here.
One with just us really quick.
Sure.
Get centered a little bit.
Purple Batman.
You look like Burt. Burt, straight down here. Burt, right here. And Burt, right above him, please. Burt, right up here, Burt. Burt, right up here. Thank you. Top right. Outside Robin. Can we have Robin in here?
Burt, stand on the star. Start on the left.
Well, no, we don't want to stand on it. Oh, I'm supposing black. All right, straight ahead. Right here, guys.
You're right.
All right. You got to do it right now.
Burt, Robin.
Burt, straight down here. Right in front of you. Straight ahead. Burt, straight ahead. And Burt, one up top here, please. Burt, together on your left. Burt, to your right. Here, guys. Guys, the corner right. Burt, right here. Right here on the left. There you go. Everybody straight ahead to start with. Straight ahead. And then right above Bob here, please. Right here. Straight down here, please. To your right. Right. Hey guys, to your right. Jump right. I know Bob. Right here, gang. Right here. Tracy. Right here. Tracy. Right here.
Okay, guys.
And then right above. Guys in the corner, guys.
Right here.
We have not done the down second.
Stand on the star, Burt.
Be the first to stand on the star. Be the first. Stand on the star. Okay. And right up right. And Burt up top. Everybody look to your left. Shift to your right. Guys to your right. To your right. Shift to your right. To your right. Shift to your right. Tracy, Burt, right here. Right here.
And right here. All right, guys.
Burt, come down. There you go. Hey, Burt, right up here, sir. Touch it. Together. Look straight ahead. To your right. Top right. Burt, in the corner. Corner on the right. Right. Okay, that's it. Right here. And Burt, right above me, right here. Thank you, sir. Robin, wait, Burt's here. Burt, right. And Burt, right here, Burt. Stop. Burt, to your right. Burt, enter in the start. Touch her. Burt. Give me the bat. There we go. Okay, even it up. Two on each side. Even it up. Burt, in the middle. Burt. In the middle. There you go. Hey,
Batman, we don't see you.
Batman, on the left, hard left. Come forward, right here. There you go. Hey guys, up top. Right. To your right corner.
Burt, everybody.
Tracy, next to Burt. Tracy, next to Burt. Next to Burt.
Straight ahead, everybody. Straight ahead.
Everyone to your right.
And right up top?
Right corner. Right corner.
Roger. Roger. Roger.
Talk and talk. Talk and Burt. Talk and Burt.
Tom, right here, Tom. Mitch, right here. Burt, right here.
Hey, Jeff, put on the end. And look in this way.
On the right. On the right.
As long as we can see them.
All right, Ray, should we do this in an order? So start left, go to the middle, go to the right, go to the left. All right. Starting left. Ready?
We're good.
Now we head to the middle. Bottom row first and the top row.
Everybody was already in. Down here at the bottom, right here.
Now the right side.
Right side.
Roger.
Maria. Maria. Sharon. Yeah, the cash.
Guys, to the right, to the right. All right, Burt, straight ahead. Nancy.
Roger. Oh my God.
Straight ahead.
Burt, right here. Roger, right here. Right down here. Thank you, Nancy. Thank you. Sharon.
Okay, we need everybody to look straight ahead.
This is the surviving cast of Batman 66.
Straight ahead, Burt.
Go back in that. Go straight back. Everybody stand. You gotta be right. This hill is blocking. Go right. Go this way.
Yes.
Okay, straight ahead.
Straight ahead of Bob, right here. Right at Bob. Okay, come over there. And right up top?
Everyone to their right, to their right.
Straight ahead, right here at the bottom, right here. Right up here, please. Up here. Up.
Okay, whoever's doing